Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at Spell, and we usually look at Bitcoin beforehand, but I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in based on the fact that I don't have a tremendous amount of time, and I got a lot of videos I want to catch up on for my viewers. Now, looking at Spell here, just before we jump in, I want you to know that I do like to educate you, of course, in this process. So I hope you learn a thing or two here today. And just note this is for educational purposes only. And also note as well, I have a trading community if you want to learn more about becoming a better trader, because I just love teaching people how to become better financially. And trading is the easiest way to do that personally. This is my full-time job. I do this every day for work. So I hope you learn, again, something here today. Now looking here at Spell, we want to note something. First of all, the 50-day set moving average is the only average right now that we have. We don't have the 200, of course, not enough trading data. But the 50 is basically telling us that's going to be working as a support level potentially in the near future if the price were to come back down. So just note that, nothing really to worry about at this moment. RSI is closer to 70, which is perfect. We like to see that. It is working as a potential resistance though, of course, which is normal on the one-day chart. So for right now, we'll just go ahead and call that all good. But the fact of the matter is it's under 70, and that's not a bad thing. But I do like to see when the RSI is over 70 on the one-day chart because it does work a little bit more like a support level. Speaking of support, look at this 4-hour here. We look at the 50-day sit moving average. You can see it's working as a nice support level. Furthermore, the 200 is trailing behind. And if you look at the RSI, you can see the RSI is trying to test 70, but hasn't quite yet. So this most recent 4-hour candlestick is essentially kind of just hanging out, consolidating, doing what it needs to. It's kind of testing a resistance here too, because you can kind of see a tentative resistance based on the previous highs for, again, the 4-hour chart, the more recent highs. And obviously that's working as a potential resistance at about 0.0259. Okay. So, you know what, we'll go ahead and leave that up there for the moment. And why don't we go ahead and take a look at the 1 hour, kind of see what's going on here. Quickly peek at some of the obvious stuff here. So the Ichimoku cloud is in very, very good shape here. It's basically telling us that we're free and clear of any price action. The conversion line is above the baseline, and obviously we're well above the cloud. So we really have all three check marks here for the Ichimoku cloud, letting us know that if we have a position open, we want to keep it open and don't need to worry about closing it. Just note that this little resistance here is tentatively pushing the price action down and holding it back a little bit, but I think we're going to be able to push through that. Of course, it's been tested twice already, and there's a good chance we might see that continue. But key takeaway here is that the support level of 0.0234, basically, sorry, actually if I round up, it's going to be 0.024. 0.024 is essentially a nice support level here for Spell. So if the price were to come back down, we should essentially see a bounce there. But again, a little too early to tell in that regard as far as where we're at, because if you look at the exhaustion here, you can see we had a 9 previously and it shot straight up. Okay, so I would say the likelihood of it coming down is pretty high, but all in all, some of these coins do have a tendency of continuing further. And bear in mind too, it had a decent amount of consolidation right here between 5 and 8, basically just leading us to believe here that we could have very well seen a reset there, and that we're at like a 4 or 5 right now, if that makes any sense. So I'm not super concerned about the fact that we are at a 9 plus. Normally that'd be a cause for concern, but there was a decent amount of consolidation for about 4 hours here. So again, we were looking pretty good here in that sense. So I would say it's pretty likely though for the price to kind of trend between 0.024 upwards of maybe 0.029, at least in the relative near future. I wouldn't expect the price to kind of continue shooting higher, but the good news is we're back up above the support and we're in pretty good shape here to probably continue to leg up eventually. We just need to kind of break through this little tentative resistance here. Okay. Now let's take a quick look, just one last thing here while we are here. So I'm curious, I haven't looked at this yet. Where is the most amount of volume for this coin? So we have the most amount of volume for Spell right in the range of 0.0138. So that is well below the current price action, but as you can see, the most amount of volume is below where the price is at right now. So again, the likelihood of the price coming down below 0.02, basically 2 cents, anything lower than that, is very, very unlikely. Again, strong foundation creates larger, better possibilities, right? Same thing with life, right? If you build a building or some kind of construction, obviously, you want to have a stable foundation to be able to build it on, right? We have a stable foundation of volume here, and the likelihood of Spell coming down past that point is very, very low. Again, pending Bitcoin doesn't do something very obnoxious and strange, which is seem to be very stable right now, we should be in pretty good shape to see Spell continue to progress upwards. So my anticipation here for Spell is to break its all-time high within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I would say probably just say January as a rough estimate. and that would put us at what, 0.035. And then of course, we could be upwards of 0.052 as a better case scenario. And what that would be is that would take roughly, I would say it would take at least the next 3 to 4 weeks. So how about this? The next 1 to 2 weeks, probably more likely to see the all-time high get tested. And then within the next, just say 3 to 4 weeks, by month in January, we could see a price range of somewhere upwards of about 0.052, like 52 cents or 5.2 cents, right? So just something to kind of think about there. That's the definite potential. Again, just based on its recent price movement. And the reason why I get that thought process, right, isn't just pulling a number out of a hat. It's taken 3 weeks for Spell to increase 400%. So to get that same amount of distance, that same amount of return, so to speak, obviously it'd only be 80% because you have a diminishing return the higher you go, but you would have that same amount of growth, that same rate of growth, potentially in the next 3 weeks, if it continues on the same trajectory, right? And as you can tell, it's done fairly well, contrary to Bitcoin doing poorly, okay? So those are all very good signs there. That leads me to believe that we will see somewhere in the range of 5 cents or higher within the next month, maybe 2. So again, just something to consider. Obviously, it's all speculation, but I hope that it's, educated speculation and you find benefit, of course, here. And obviously, you learned something today. Go ahead and comment below. If you want to learn more, of course, become part of my Trading Academy /community. The link in the description below for that. I'll have new spots available first of the month. I'll have that Trading Academy rolled out in January. And of course, we'll have a new website as well to help facilitate that. So awesome stuff. Looking forward to that. And I want to thank you very much for your time here today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.